Okay, maybe because of light.
Hello, everyone. You're welcome to today's show. And today we are here at the Better Nigerian Television talking about something very, very special. Better Nigerian Television, here we talk about the citizens, give the citizens their voice, we amplify the citizens' voice, giving the citizens an opportunity to speak what they think about their country and how they want to better the lots of their country. So if you're new to this channel, please subscribe and let's do justice. With me to discuss and look at what is happening on the political space today is Mr. Omar Sam. You're welcome to the show.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
All right. So now let's go ahead to take a look at the basic things in our political space that happened in the last 24 hours. Okay, let's see. Look at what happened. Updates. Oh, look at Ukraine. US, NATO must be held accountable. You can see these are updates from the international scene. Roman Abramovich of Chelsea is at risk of losing Chelsea's ownership. They have stopped him from entering UK. NATO to Russia, cease military action immediately. Russia invasion, Nigeria urges citizens in Ukraine to protect themselves. Russia's Putin announces military operation in Ukraine, so it's no longer news that has finally taken place. So now in Nigeria here, today, we are actually looking at the political space in 2023 because you can see the president said, I am looking forward to becoming a former president. Mr. Owa, what do you think about that?
Oh, yes. Nigeria, too, is part of the continent, that is African continent. And we are not immune. I believe there are a lot of challenges coming from here and there. So I'm not looking forward to becoming former president, says Buhari. And I don't know what he really means, but time has its own voice. A time shall come, he will also be addressed as a former president. So maybe he will come back and address us and give us more understanding on that point. Thank you.
All right. So that being said, let's look through before we now dive into discussing what we have as our item for today. Leaders who swear by holy books must not abuse public office. That's what Buhari said.
Yeah.
What do you think many Nigerians will be saying after reading this?
Yes, when you hear leaders who swear by holy books such as your Bible, your Quran, and the rest, must not abuse public office. That's what it should be. But it appears that that is just a figure. That is just because most of our leaders today, the more they swear, or after swearing, you see them living contrary to what they have professed to do. For me, he's saying the right thing, but I'm not seeing the same character coming from that direction.
That's a very, I think that's what many Nigerians will actually say. So this president can say this, and what he's actually doing in office is to say the least.
Yes,
Uh, we deserve more than that. We think he can actually do more.
exactly.
So now, these are the other updates. Illicit drugs, police snap 26-year-old over mother's death in Gombe. And Osun Monarch lamenting security, seek government intervention. So a lot of things happening in our country right now. So what will you say about the renewed, uh,
You see, the situation we are now in the country, I
yeah,
don't know if the situation is also contributing. We know that there are those who cannot do with this type of life, but it appears that the whole thing is becoming more and more. It appears that more people who ordinarily shouldn't live that type of life or kind of life actually finding themselves in that illicit attitude that is having an illicit drug. It's very worrisome and you see insecurity here and there. Of course, many. If you look at most of the areas or political zones in these nations, we see that many monarchs are actually crying, and it appears that we don't have a strong head, that is president, that can give a very good fight to this issue. And we hope that 2023 elections will put something right. I think, yeah, I think that will be the right thing.
All right. So now let's go back to our major topic of today.
Okay.
Okay, let's look at politics before we go to our major topic of today. Under politics today, El-Rufai said, I have no ambition. Will support any southern candidates. So you can see, uh, do you think that's a sincere? Can we take that to the bank?
Anyway, everybody has his own opinion, but I'm not seeing Erufai. If he's appointed today, he will gladly go there. And before, I don't think he will not tell you that he has ambition to be a governor. But now he's a governor. All right. And this one, he said, will support any southern. Well, if he has no option, he will do that. But if he has option, this man, I'm not sure he can support any southern song. But let's assuming, let's take him by his word. But I'm not seeing that thing coming directly the way said it. Thank you.
All right. So then, another presidential aspirant says public officials harboring political ambition should resign. Ex-presidential aspirant. Do you think they should resign?
It's right, but I don't know what because the constitution also has to be looked into. If you are still holding any public office, yeah, for me, you need to complete it first, or otherwise, you step down and go for the next one. But Nigeria seems to, if you know one or two person that can cover you up, it's as if even the constitution will be weak to reverse the situation. So, but for me, that is the right thing to do. If you want to go for the other one, give up the other one first, the current one you are having. There's no big deal, but Nigeria seems to do otherwise. Yeah.
All right. Uh, APC convention postponement. Sign of failure. That's from Governor Yesom Wike. Said APC postponing their convention is a sign that they have failed already. Do you share? What?
No, I like the courage. I like this man, Wike. He say what is in his mind.
Yes.
But let me look at it this way. It may not actually be a failure. Maybe the situation or the timing is not okay for them. But then, if the issue is meant to frustrate someone, then of course I will also agree that it's a sign of failure. But if they are looking at it that this time around is not okay, then but on a national level and they are in charge of the government, by now they should have even prepared theirs even before the PDP. So if any PDP person is saying it's a sign of failure, well, maybe he's speaking from the angles of PDP. But I think that APC, they need to put themselves together, because for now, I am not seeing APC getting the right step towards 2023 election.
All right. That's very. That's very. Then there's something the Bauchi State governor said here. He had a meeting with Obasanjo and said, APC zoning, no threat to PDP. Is not a threat to PDP. So what do you think is making the Bauchi governor to meet Obasanjo, trying to say the APC zoning is not a threat?
Hmm. Well, um, maybe he just want to say his own opinion. Or probably maybe the PDP, the APC is also seeing PDP as a threat.
I think
And
what he is lobbying to become president, the Bauchi State governor,
of course,
Bala Mohammed,
yes,
who was a former FCT minister, is the incumbent governor of Bauchi State. He wants to be governor of the state,
yes.
and he thinks since APC has zoned presidency to the south, party chairmanship to the north, that he wants to lobby PDP leaders to still give him the presidential candidate,
Of course, if
so
he
that
got,
and that's why he's assuring them that the zoning has nothing to do. It's not a threat.
it depends on if the APC can get their house in order and
Yes,
bring the right person.
yes.
All right, maybe somebody like Osibanjo, the person that has the right character,
Mm.
person that has the true face of Nigeria. I'm telling you, the APC may be on the right way to get something done better. But as it stands now, maybe he has actually weighed everything and saw that the way the APC is going is not actually a threat. And when you look at it with this present situation of APC, it's not actually a threat. Yeah,
All
it's
right.
not.
So let's now look at 2023 presidential election. Uh, One, the president has virtually refused so far to sign the electoral bill into a law. Uh, what do you think? Will this affect the 2023 elections? Because personally, since this president, Nigerians have been lamenting. This president has contested the election 4 times before he became president. There was one of the elections he even cried, saying that our elections are flawed, that there is injustice in our electoral processes, that he will do when he wins election, he will make sure that election is free and fair and everything. But unfortunately, this same president has refused to sign electoral bills into law. In 2019, he refused, and now, from all indication, he's trying to play that same script. What do you think he's playing? And what do you think Nigerians can do to ensure that we have credible electoral process in Nigeria?
It's a pity, honestly speaking. Um, I wasn't expecting this our current president to behave like this. A man who has failed so many times, even though let's assume it doesn't matter the way, maybe he was not given the right step or the right hearing or the right vote, but as God may have it, he's now in charge. I expected him to have used those experiences to to get things done rightly. Up to now, the INEC guideline on how to conduct the election is not being signed. For me, it's a big shame. Either he signed it or not, at this point, is a big shame. So it's no longer a credit on his side. Even though he signed it, it's no longer something because as a president, at this point, concerning this kind of issues you are not you don't need to be you don't need to be forced or to be called upon to even do the needful. You're supposed to have been the one setting the standard, all right? So for now, not signing that one up to this moment, for me, I think he's maybe he doesn't want a right or credible election in 2023. I think so. But I think the National Assembly actually has to rise to their to defend this nation because this is a sign. This thing is a sign that it's as if the president is not ready to help us, to help the citizen to come back on the right track. I think the National Assembly is the only body, the only institution now that can do the needful. Let them let them put the presidency on check to make sure that this is done. Otherwise, well, for me, it will affect anybody. It will affect almost all the Nigeria, both the elite and every other person. If
All
it is
right.
not signed.
That's very good. To me, when they talk about the National Assembly, I always laugh. Is this the National Assembly led by Honorable Lawan, Senator Lawan? To me, they are failing in all respect. They have refused to make Nigerians feel that we have representatives. They do the bidding of the president. That means making the issue of separation of power to become compromised. So it goes a long way to show that we have a lot to do. So that being said, I just hope, like you do, that if the president refuses to sign, they can muster the courage to, even though I don't believe it, I don't think they can do it, but I hope they do it. So that's that. Now, for the presidential election, Who and who do you think will win? Who are the front runners from what you're seeing right now? Nobody. Yes.
It's not all about how I wish it can be, based on the experience and the capacity, not those. Because what I'm seeing now is some personality based on the number of one or two person they know, that can back them up. But I'm still not seeing the credibility, and I'm still not seeing those who can move this nation forward. Among those I've seen so far that have declared intention to run, I'm not seeing them giving us what we want. How I wish they can, but I'm not seeing them giving us what we want. But if they think we are waiting on primary, but I think yes, Atiku is doing. I think he's trying to do one or two research on the situation of the country. Kudos. How I wish he has the tenacity to lead the nation. I'll be very happy. Yes. I expected Sibanjo to step up, but I don't know if he's not willing, because I'm seeing that charisma in him. I see someone who have the vision. I see somebody who have the capacity. Um, yeah.
All right.
So
That's good. So we are still watching the political terrain.
mm,
In our subsequent editions, we'll be looking at individual candidates. What we look at, we're going to look at the prominent aspirants, because they are still aspirants of their party right now. They are still just declaring their aspirations. So we're going to discuss with presidential aspirants, senators, and all those aspiring to occupy public office in 2023. We are going to give you undiluted information, undiluted analysis of our political space, and give you top-notch information on how everything is going to be, because we must all be invested in our political future. So we'll see you in our next video.
thank you very much.
Subscribe, subscribe. Dr. Sam Uma is a political affairs analyst and holds strong view about his thinking about this country. So that being said, we'll see you in our next video. Bye-bye.